Welcome back to the Paddle and Fin Podcast Network. We're brought to you by Yak Gadget. For all your kayak fishing accessory needs, go to yakgadget.com. Pelican cases, coolers, and lighting. Go to pelican.com. The 153 Bait Company. For all your hard and soft bait needs, go to the 153anglers.com. Now let's get this show started. What's going on? Facebook Live, YouTube. What's going on? Little different setting this week.
Welcome to the lounging edition.
Yeah, right.
The launch guy is the intro music.
Yeah. We got Jimmy Skinner in the house. Me and Jimmy are down at Kissimmee. Jay is at home in freezing cold Chicago.
Yep, it's great here. Super duper.
It was pretty. I heard it was pretty brutal up there yesterday. It was like what, -20, -30 with the windshield or something.
Yeah, it sucked. It's been super cold, and then and today I posted because we had like a few days of just nasty weather, and then today I went out to start my truck, and I'm like, it's like 21, and I'm like, oh, thank God it's warm. You know? Dude,
Susie's in the house. What's up, Susie?
What's up, Susie? I mean, a lot of people were thinking the same thing. I was like, a northerner's mentality. You know, it's like I can take off my jacket. It's only just 21 finally.
Yeah, I talked to the wife yesterday morning, and she's like, "I hate you right now." And I was like, "Okay, well,
yeah.
What else is new?"
No, you don't, Susie. It's not worth being down here right now.
Yeah, it's we'll get into that. I mean, the weather was nice today. Yesterday was kind of crummy, and then nasty cold front blowing through this weekend. But couple things I want to touch on real quick is if you guys saw the post today, Eastport Marina, we got that event live on Tourney X. So if you guys are planning on coming down to Dale Hollow the weekend of April 2nd and 3rd, our good friends at Eastport have a little incentive. If you get signed up early, they're giving away 6 rooms and lodging on a houseboat for the I don't know if it's the first 6 or if he's doing a random drawing. Can you pull that up on your phone, Jimmy?
I can.
And read that off. And then if you sign up early as well, you can get free camping up at the marina as well. They got some areas for some campsites and stuff like that. So get signed up on Tourney X. If you guys aren't following Eastport, go give them a follow. And I think you have to follow them to win that drawing. I'm going off of memory, and I talked to Richard yesterday after I had been awake for like 30 hours. So it's not all fresh in my mind, but
so what we got going on is from Richard himself: sign up early by March 1st and get the following: free primitive camping at the farm venue for everyone that signs up early. Everyone that signs up early is entered into a drawing for 6 opportunities to get houseboat accommodations during the tournament for free. Share, comment, and post the Paddle and Fin tournament on your own Facebook page. Participate in the tournament, stay for the closing awards, and you will be entered into one of 2 drawings for a 3-night cabin vacation rental at the farm.
That's right. I forgot about that giveaway. Yeah, he said, you can come stay at the marina down there for a 3-night stay at any time of your choice if you stay all the way through the awards. So that'll get drawn, at the very end there. So kind of cool, man. They stepped up huge, and obviously they stepped up huge last year too. So huge shout out to Eastport Marina, Richard, and the whole crew down there. Looking forward to being back down there. And we're doing that in conjunction with Jared's club.
Yeah, Central Tennessee Kayak Anglers, my buddy Garrett Johnson, and a bunch of the Central Tennessee guys. And I know they're putting it out there, hoping to get a bunch of the other Tennessee clubs to come join us.
Nice. 2-day tournament, $80 entry fee. We just dropped the link down in the chat there for you guys for the Tourney X sign up. So get signed up early. Obviously, there's some incentives, but we'll have many other things going on that weekend. I think a majority of the paddle and fin crew is going to be there. I think maybe one or two can't make it, but should be a great time. So also wanted to mention, as soon as we're done, go over to River Bassin. Drew and Ken are doing a show tonight as well. In the last 45 minutes, they're going to do viewer questions. So if you guys want to get in on the River Bassin stuff and hear from Drew and Ken, jump over there after our show ends. So what else do we got? What else is going on, Jay?
A whole lot of nothing. Fishing shows are getting canceled left and right.
Milford's in the chat. He says, "Whoa, this looks like it might turn into an after-hours show."
He's just jealous he's not here.
Yeah, he's like, "I'll be there in 10 minutes."
It's possible. I was like, "Well, how's this going to work, dude? We have so much tackle and bins in here. Like,
there's no
we have a table over in the corner, but
one box.
You can't really get to it." So I was like, we'll throw up the camera out here. I brought it from the studio. It's on the tripod, and like we'll lounge in the beds, I guess. And
I'm surprised you didn't try to do something outside by the water or something.
There is no water. There's a bar.
There's a bar.
The water's down the road a bit.
There was a bar fight last night too, man. Maybe we can catch the next one on.
There you go. That sounds. See, you guys are having more. It's a lot more exciting than this house is.
I was so tired last night. There was no way I was staying at the bar. I ate a burger and I was ready for bed.
Yeah,
but
I don't think he made it 15 minutes after we got back.
Yeah, I was out pretty quick. But yeah, man, Kissimmee. It's been a grind. I mean, we found some fish, but I mean, the big talk of the town is we heard a lady talking on a dock today that I guess Saturday and Sunday are going to be the coldest it's been in Florida in 4 years.
Yeah.
So
figures that, Kissimmee is historically good in January. I know from some local people that, 2 weeks ago it was 85. I know it was 80.
Yeah, it was like 80 and sunny.
They were catching, the pre-spawners and spawners already. So it was setting up like we were going to, that's why we decided to ditch on Fork and come to Kissimmee. But, figures a historical low for Florida follows Jimmy and Brian.
Dude, so we went out there once and it was like in the winter. And I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to bring a hoodie, a couple, some jeans. It was like 32 for 2 days while we were there. I was like, what is going on?
Yeah.
So it can happen.
We got Scott in the chat. I'm not even going to try to pronounce his last name because I'm horrible at last names. But he's asking water temps. We've seen everywhere from 59 to 65.
Yesterday there was it was cooler yesterday. There was a bunch of like mid to high 50s. We found 60 a couple times, and then we got forced up real shallow by the wind today, and we found a pocket that I got 67 degrees in, but there wasn't really any fish in it.
There was one.
You can't say that. You didn't catch it.
Oh, he came unhooked like a foot away from my boat. But
I did catch one decent one today, but not too much of a pattern between.
I've caught all three of my fish on the same thing. And I'm not going to give that away right now.
I caught mine
Pink
kind
Senko
of in the same way.
Yeah, kind of, yeah, pretty much the same. Color was a little different.
But we've been out graphing around. They're still in the right mindset of like spawn. So
yeah,
you think of transition points, deep access, close to shallow. We've checked that basically everywhere we've went, and nothing. Like not graphing fish, not graphing bait. Like they're still either stuck up shallow and are just hunkered down, or they've went way off. Which, talking to a bunch of the locals, they don't do that. They just typically stay in the area. But we talked there's a bunch of bass boat tournaments going on down here.
Yeah,
and there's a bunch of guys that are ready. There's a Bass Open, I think, next week.
Yeah.
And those guys are already here getting ready, and like they're all getting 1 or 2 bites a day. That's it. And they're not like one guy caught 2 shorts. One guy said he got 1 decent one. That's the only bite he had all day.
Yeah, where we were last night, I got those 2 bites in 30 minutes.
Yeah, you did.
something like that. So kind of laid off that spot after that. So
Only thing that kind of sucks about that is I think you caught them after what would have been tournament hours.
that's true, but I think they're still going to be there.
Right.
I don't think that with what we were fishing, I don't think they're roaming too far from there. You know what I mean? Because that was, yeah, we'll leave it at that. But I'm trying not to give away too much. Like I love giving away stuff, but I mean, with as tough as it is, like, you know, like Jimmy said, like boaters are having a hard time. Some of the kayakers are having a hard time. So it'll be interesting, man. Like, shout out to Casey Reed and another guy posted up on the KBF page that you know, they caught 20 plus inch fish, PBs,
224
Wow.
and 22 3/4,
and that was on cold days. That was on cold days too. So, you know, will the cold really affect the fish? It's hard to say because I think tomorrow's forecasted to be 72, right?
Just a little below, but still
like 68
warm,
or something.
Yeah.
So, you know, you're going from 68 down to
42.
the high. Yeah, I think the high is like 48 or 50 or something. So, I mean, you got pretty much a 20, 30 degree temperature change, which.
And then the wind is Saturday there. So today we dealt with, I would almost put money on 15s to 20s, like 20-mile-an-hour gusts. And the gusts out here, I mean, you're talking about a gust that'll last like 3 minutes. You know, it's just to beat you down. Saturday, it's 15 to 20 sustained with 40-mile-an-hour gusts.
Right.
So
Jesus.
based off what we tried to do today with 15s and 20s, you're not crossing the lake. You're not getting on those offshore areas. Like, it's going to force most everybody shallow fishing. Like, we were getting 2-foot rollers 100 yards in the grass lines.
Yeah.
Like behind 100 yards of grass, and the waves were still rolling you around. Like, it was rough.
Real quick, Milford's asking, is it too late to make a fantasy team? Absolutely not. You guys can sign up if you go to paddleandfin.com/fantasy. You can go there. There's the link to go in, sign up. There's the spreadsheet on everybody's salaries and where they won their money last year. Kissimmee is on there from last year, so you may want to do some research on that. And then your lineup gets locked tomorrow night at 10 p.m. So get signed up. Make sure you got your lineup squared up for this weekend by tomorrow night. I did get a message on the way down here. Catherine Field messaged me, and she's like, I'm not coming. So you may want to take me off your fantasy team. So thanks, Milford, for reminding me of that. I got to make some adjustments, but I believe she's heading to Fork. She was just heading to Fork this weekend. So
Joke's on you. I'm not on there.
yeah. Milford. Todd Patrick in the house. What's up, brother? Hope you're well, man. I'm going to drop. Jay, you're dropping these in the private chat.
I know I don't have access to the regular comment.
That's right. We kicked you out. We banned you from that.
I know.
I'm dropping the link for Fantasizer down into the chat. So, yeah, get signed up if you guys aren't signed up already for the fantasy team or fantasy league, and get your picks in by 10 o'clock tomorrow night before Susie locks you out. And all the events this weekend through KBF count towards that. So the trail series, both trail series events, the pro series event, the 10 Invitational, and then the 10 for what is that? Tuesday, Wednesday, right?
It's either Tuesday, Wednesday, or Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday.
I forget. Yeah. I think it's Tuesday, Wednesday. But
knock on the wall and ask Chad.
Yeah, he's probably right over there. He's on the other side of the building here. But yeah, it'll be interesting, man. You know, I think some limits are definitely going to be caught. I don't know how big they're going to be, though. You know, I think those bigger fish might shut down, but it'll be interesting to see.
something that, I won't share location. We have a really good feeling, and talking with guys that we know where like a majority of the folks are fishing, based off of how things went last year. And, I guarantee that's where some of these pictures are coming from. But like my thought is that it's a very small area and it's going to get beat apart before tournament day starts. And with the conditions going to complete crap, like that's going to shut down too. So I think it's going to just be I don't think you can really call who's going to do well or where. I think it's just going to be one of these tournaments where, you're only going to get your 5 bites, maybe,
Yeah.
You got to make it count.
Each bite counts for sure. And this happened last year too. They had a cold front come in, obviously not as dramatic as this year, but you still saw limits come in. You still saw fish being caught. You just didn't see giants, which will be interesting. But yeah, I mean, the areas we've been fishing, we've seen one kayak.
Yeah, and I would almost guarantee that guy's not in the tournament.
Yeah.
But we've traveled a decent amount, and I've seen one competitor the whole time.
Yeah.
Which is what kind of helps make me believe that they're in majority of one location. And I mean, and I can say this one, everybody's probably checking out Toho, because Big and Little Toho is, that's where the elites go. That's everybody knows Kissimmee because of Lake Kissimmee and Toho. So, and there's a lot of, like, some of these lakes have very limited access.
Yeah.
So some of these lakes have one put in that you have to, really think about so like when you pull up to one of these ramps, they're not there because it's the only place to go. But it helps challenge your game plan and process, because like we want to go to the northeast side of one lake and you have to cross the entire lake to get there because the ramp's on the southwest. Or
is this like a Channel Lakes type situation?
Yeah, there's 10 lakes in play.
Oh, okay.
So Scott is in the chat and he's asking, what do we think will win it? So everybody that's watching, put your predictions down in the chat and let us know what you think will win it. Todd Patrick is saying 92.5.
I'm going to go 95. Just some of the folks that are down here, I think someone will stumble onto 95 at least one day.
Okay.
Maybe like for a 2-day for you Pro Series guys, like 88 one day and 90 something the next. So like in the 70s.
Okay. All right.
Someone always seems to stumble onto them. So
I was gonna say 88.
Think so? That bad?
I think so. I think
102.
Scott's saying 25. 89. Jay's going 102. Jay's calling
102 shots. 102 and a quarter.
All right. Well, I can do that for you, Jay. No problem.
I bet you, man. I bet you somebody's going to find those on the day.
Dude, if he finds that, I'm going to sink his boat.
This is something I was thinking about today, like on the water, because I used to fish a ton of tournaments. This is my first like legit tournament back in a while. And like you do really well, like in pre-fishing, and then you have horrible freaking like tournament days. And like I've had good tournament days, obviously, like even when pre-fishing is good, like Madison Chain, for instance. Like Jay knows what that was like when I was pre-fishing. Like he kept going, again, really, again, and I started off the morning leading that tournament, and then I forget what, I think I ended up in like 7th or something like that. But it's interesting. Like I was thinking about it today, like not catching a ton or finding a ton right now, but is that necessarily a bad thing? Because come tournament day is when you really want to catch them. You know what I mean?
Right. And then the fish we have found, I mean, no giant fish, but
I think they're resident fish, and I think there's numbers.
Yeah, and they're all like great kayak size fish. I mean, you want to fill out a bag of 16s and better if you can't go catch 520s. And
that's the thing too, like we were talking about that on the water, like the one you caught today, you're like, I thought it was a 14 and it ended up
I
being
mean, maybe a 14, and it
Yeah.
was easily like cleared 17.
yeah. And the one I caught yesterday, I thought it was like 13, 14 and it was over 16,
Yeah.
you know? So these Florida fish are long, which is nice.
Oh yeah. I mean, at any time down here, you can, man. We can stumble into one big one.
We got Milford says 91 and 3/4. Mark Edwards says 94 inches. So everybody's shooting for those 90s.
I think I think a 90s will happen.
I think it'll happen too. I'm conservative with 88, but I think you'll see a 90-inch bag for sure.
Oh,
90
yeah.
plus inch.
And I agree with what Scott says. You're going to need it. You always need a good kicker fish.
Yeah.
I think that there may be one of these situations where you'll see somebody that's contending that's got like 3 decents, 1 good one, and may not even have a fifth fish.
Yeah.
I've seen that before where you carry like a 24 or 23 over
Sure.
and really make up some ground.
Yeah. It'll be interesting to see, man. It's Kissimmee. It's funny because I talked to a few people before I came down here, and I was like, you got any recommendations or anything? And my one buddy Connor, who used to fish down here quite a bit, he has family down this way, and he goes, you know what the biggest problem with Kissimmee chain is? Everything looks great.
That's an understatement of the century.
Yeah, like I think I said to you today, I was like, man, it was like everywhere we looked, it was like it just looked juicy. Like there should be fish here, there should be fish here, and there'd be nothing.
This is one of the few times where, like, I'll always say that a motor versus like pedals or paddling is not really an advantage. Like, you can compete. We've cleared so much water running motors, and because of that, everything, like we were talking to our neighbors here that are in the bass boat tournament, like everything looks good and everything looks the same. Like if punching's your deal and you're on a punching bite, there's 400 places that have the same grass or in the same depth, the same makeup that you could punch, and you've just got to bounce and bounce and bounce. And I mean, it's very hard. I mean, and these guys are way, more experienced than I am. And they're all having the same struggles for clearing water because it's, punch here 4 times, scoot down, punch there 4 times, and just do it all day for minimal bites.
Kevin Swan says 91 Saturday, 85 Sunday. Ooh. See, I think that's what you're going to see is like a 90 and an 80.
Yeah, Sunday's going to fall off for sure.
Yeah. I think Saturday's not going to affect him as much as Sunday will. 2 days in a row of super cold temps.
Saturday is going to more affect the angler than the fish.
And that's the thing too, right? Like what, Tuesday it's supposed to be 80?
Thursday. Yeah.
Like, come on, man.
We're missing it.
But
figures. And watch, Lake Fork will be on fire.
Oh yeah.
That's where we were supposed to go.
Yeah, and the water levels are low there, so them fish are all schooled up, and yeah, I think Fork's going to be a fight next weekend. Like,
yeah,
I think you're going to have a real tight race there. Like, everybody's going to slam them, and I think your winners are going to be separated by quarters of an inch.
Yeah, it's going to be a good one.
But yeah,
I hate we didn't go, but Lake Fork last year, I really wanted to hit this event because I've always wanted to come down to the Kissimmee Channel, Florida, and it's not going to deter me from it. Now I just want to get back at the right time of year, I guess, at the right temperature.
Yeah, I mean, I've always wanted to fish the 10 Invitational. Like, I'm qualified to, so I am. And, it's usually, like Jay said at the beginning of the show, like, fishing shows have been canceled left and right. Usually Kissimmee happens the same weekend as the Chicago Fishing Show, and this year it got canceled. And instantly, I was like, let's go. Like, I'm ready to go fish and, like, be in some open water. And, and that's the thing too, right? Like, Sunday morning, I was fishing on 10 inches of ice, and now yesterday and today, I'm like fishing open water, which is nuts, But yeah, it'll be good, man. I'm either way, like, I got that mentality right now. Like, I don't even care about finishing. I'm just looking to have a good time and enjoy myself down here.
That's kind of what happened. I was taking it very seriously leading up to it, but as soon as I saw the weather pattern, how it was going to change, and that's already a weak point for me.
Sure.
I kind of just I don't want to say wrote it off, but I'm not really worried about the tournament anymore. And now it's all about, like today, it was like, okay, I need to catch my first Florida fish. And it was my first fish for 2022.
Sure.
And, now it's like, okay, now I want to catch a really nice Florida fish. I want to check out as much of the area as we can. And I think Milford asked if we'd seen any gators. We hadn't seen any big lizards yet, and I'm kind of upset about it because there's signs everywhere and beware, and they attack humans. And we ain't seen the first one, and I'm kind of pissed about that.
I'm not upset about it at all. I'm good.
Well, at least we know you're going to stay in the boat, Brian.
Well, that was the thing. We launched this morning which is right here by where we're staying.
Oh, yeah.
There was a sign like, don't feed the alligators, beware of the alligators. And I was like, oh God, I don't want to step in the water to get in my kayak.
I don't know if you read it. The place we launched last night or yesterday afternoon, they have a whole sign about alligators frequent this area. They are known to attack humans.
I did not see that.
Yes.
But that's funny because last night when I was breaking down my boat and I'm like, oh man, I can just picture a gator coming up and trying to snatch me off the bank, as I'm bending down trying to grab my crate or something.
Well, I was standing knee deep in the water today and trying not to think about it. And I was reading somewhere else about down here, it's very common for them to snatch cows and deer off the bank because there's cattle farms all around the lake. And we rounded a corner and there's a freaking cow standing in the river.
Yeah, there was a cow standing in the lake with two birds sitting on its back. And the cow turned around, was like, "Get off of me, bro."
Dude, I was looking at him and I was like, dude, what's gonna happen if something just comes out and takes that thing down? We're out so fast.
Oh man. Yeah, it's we almost got ran over by a couple airboats today.
He got a lot closer than I did. I made sure I was out of the way.
Yeah, that's kind of unique when you're deep in some grass and you just hear this fan motor coming around the corner.
It'd be the worst way to die because you can hear it for 20 minutes before he gets there. It's like a pro mod dragster running down the river that you can't see, but you can hear it running over all the grass.
Yeah.
And that's he got close enough to Brian. I was 25 yards back, and I could hear him coming straight for him. And I keep seeing Brian looking that way, trying to scoot over. So I just stood up in my seat above the grass to see him. And lucky for us, that guy has one of those tall pedestal seats on his airboat, so he could see us. But,
well, what's unique about that is those airboats can go through some really shallow water. So they've cut some nice back sloughs through that grass that the bass boats can't get back to, but the kayaks can. Yeah. We haven't really found any fish back there, but I'm sure force down here, that's going to change a little bit.
This tournament was a week later, or not having this, those are the areas that would play because they're no pressure. I mean, minus airboats running over them, but that's not really going to do anything to the fish. But
agree.
And a lot of those give us access to a lot of cool places. I actually had a blow up on a frog today, which was fantastic. Throwing a frog in January. Never done that before. But, that was one of those areas. We took one of those blown down trails and then found little, isolated pockets. There's only about that much water in them. But
do they got snakeheads down there?
Yeah, they're down here.
Are they? I didn't know if they were south of Georgia. I know they have them in Georgia.
Yeah,
no,
I think they're down
they
here.
have them in Florida because I'm wondering because if you're getting blowups on frogs, they tend to go after frogs too.
Well, this one wasn't a big fish, but it was a very, very typical frog bite where the water just drops out from under the frog. Mm-hmm. He just was off to the left a little bit.
Huh.
But
if you guys only encountered bass yesterday and today.
Mm-hmm. I was just about to say I haven't seen anything else swimming around. No gar, nothing. I haven't seen.
I saw some bait scatter at the ramp when we came in tonight.
I saw a bunch of real small bait fish, but
Yeah,
no like gills or nothing like
I
that.
haven't seen gills either. There was a lot of guys like we saw today, crappie or bluegill fishing.
Yeah.
They were bobber fishing in a few areas, you know.
You know, one thing that we were talking about this outside. You know, you run up on bass boat guys and you see them like fishing points and stuff like that, and then as you go by, thinking like, okay, maybe this is something I should try. They're all throwing shiners. Like everybody out here is fishing with live bait.
Yeah.
So
Mhm.
like they've got live bait to go after. They're not going to come for my plastic worm.
Yeah, I mean, the first time I ever fished in Florida, which was on Lake Tarpon, we were shiner fishing.
Well, it's like just looking at all the, like when I was looking for camping, everybody has like a guide that's related to like a camping area.
Sure.
And I would just look into those, and like all of them are live bait trips.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
But I mean, I guess it's cool because it probably ups your chance of catching a trophy down here for sure. But it just doesn't interest me at all. Like, I'll live bait fish for crappie just because it makes it easier, but that's about it.
If we see a gator tomorrow, I'll throw a hook in you and throw you out there.
Like I said earlier, I hope Paddle and Finn's got a disability clause.
Jimmy, you're fired.
They definitely got a clause. I don't know.
Yeah. But yeah, it'll be interesting, man. I'm stoked. I'm just glad to be down here. I'm, glad I made the trip, and just trying to make the best of it. Have a good time, and we'll battle through the elements. It could be worse, right?
Oh, definitely.
Could be back home in negative 20-degree windshields.
Yeah.
My trail camera, I showed Jimmy, my trail camera in Wisconsin sent me a picture, and it's read negative 37.
Whoa. Jesus.
No sir.
I was like, oh, yeah.
Dude, don't pee outside.
Yeah. I was like,
But
yeah.
at the same time, that would be hilarious to have like
Oh my God.
Frozen
That's
Arch.
crazy.
Yeah.
hilarious.
Yeah. It showed up negative 37, and that's just right over the border. That's
Jesus.
over in the marsh spot, But yeah, it'll be interesting, man. It'll be interesting to see what happens, and we'll just keep grinding it out. We'll run and gun tomorrow and cover some ground, and
May try some new water tomorrow.
yeah, definitely.
There's a massive amount of lakes out there. I'm looking at the map.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Something when you look at, obviously, if you're looking at like a scale, you can tell. When you're just like Google Earthing this or Google Maps,
Yeah, you're
you
like,
get an
that's
idea.
not a far run.
Yeah,
And
And
then
then when
you
you
get
measure
down
it out,
here,
you're like, oh, 4
and, like,
miles.
like what, like 2 points on a map. You look anywhere else in your own state, and you're like, okay, that's about a 30-minute run. And then you map it, and it's like 4.5 miles, and you're like,
That spot we ran to this morning, like the far spot, that was probably what, a 45-minute run, hour run.
it's probably about an hour. We didn't go straight there.
Yeah, I mean, we fished
Are
some
you talking about
stuff on
driving or fishing?
fishing when we
fishing,
left
yeah.
the ramp
Yeah,
to get to that farthest point. It's probably about an hour.
It would have probably been an hour point to point. We hit some other stuff, but and that's most of it. Like a lot of the put-ins, if you want to get to anything significant, I mean, it's 1.7 miles, 2.6 miles. Like
Yeah.
a lot of it's running, and then you can fish in all the channels that connect them, but some of them get a little narrow. And like we saw that one guy right when we were coming in. I mean, there was a guy probably running 80, 85 when he come out of that stretch.
Well, and that's the thing too.
screaming.
Like the one channel we were in today, that was pretty wide,
That one was, yeah.
and we actually saw bait in that one,
Mhm.
and like there was no fish. Like we fished it, and that's where some deeper water is in a lot of those channels. But
It's crazy that some of the stuff we're looking at is textbook for what you should do in these situations in this time of year.
yeah,
Like
and it's not there.
deep water, near shallow water with structure, nothing. And like I said, we went out graphing yesterday, and nothing. Like I know my electronics to know, like when we cover a school of something, and we weren't covering singles, like nothing.
Right. Yeah. It's so weird, dude, because
That-
it's
you
like,
know, that's what makes me, honest to God, believe they're still shoved up shallow.
yeah, I mean, that's where
Just
the
tight in
warmest
the grass.
water is, but
Mhm.
you know, you didn't really find them up in there.
Well,
You
that's
know what I
what
mean?
I think that. I mean, maybe
I
they're
mean,
just
that's where you
tight-lipped.
got that frog blow up, but again, that was end of the day, and that's when the water's going to be the warmest, right?
Right.
So, and that was after tournament hours. So, you know,
It's gonna
not
be a grind.
necessarily legit. Scott's asking side scan. Yeah, we've been side scanning. Well, I've been side
I
scanning
know.
everything.
I actually backed mine down to max range while we were like making our runs, just to see as far as I could, and nothing.
I found that one rock pile out on a break, and there was nothing there.
Well, like we found that brush pile that I ran
Yeah,
over, nothing
yeah.
on it. Only brush pile in the area. In deep water, right outside of shallow water, nothing.
Yeah. Yeah, well, the thing is too, right? Like they had that cold front blow through last week. We got the cold front coming in
Mhm.
you know, this weekend. The grass and especially the grass mats are going to hold a lot of that temperature. So I think they're going to cling to that, you know, come cold front time.
Yeah.
You know, like the thicker grass, not the sparse grass. So
Is there
Yeah.
any, I was going to say, is there any riprap or any rocks like by shore?
Not much.
no.
No.
It's mostly just sandy beaches or sandy banks. But like he's saying, you know, it could be, you know, where you're having to turn to punching heavy
Well,
thick
even
stuff.
there was a few spots where we had some cypress trees and brush on the banks that we fished, and I saw one fish.
I lost one fish on a dock. I forgot about that
Yeah.
today, earlier in the day.
Yeah.
He picked it up I skipped under the dock. He grabbed it and swam to me, and before I could catch up with him, he spit it.
Yeah.
I think you guys are going to have your work cut out for you, man. I'm looking at the weather. It's 67 tomorrow, 11 mile an hour winds, cloudy. Saturday's 49 and sunny, 19 mile an hour winds.
With 40-mile-an-hour gusts.
Yeah, and then Sunday will be 54 sunny and that'll be a pretty tame day as opposed to the day before.
That was kind of like what it was the first day. I think
What's the wind forecasted on Sunday?
8 miles.
Yeah, slows down.
Nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll be more tall. I think people are going to be cold on Saturday.
That's this Sunday is when I'll catch the 102 inches.
There you go. 102 and a quarter.
Oh, my bad. My bad. I shortchanged you
on
on
that.
that
He catches 102 flat.
Yeah.
That would be hilarious.
I mean, I wouldn't complain. That'd be my first 100-inch day in a
I
tournament.
never broke the century mark. That'd be sick.
As long as
I've
you
got
guys ain't
90,
fishing,
but-
as long as Miss Jean ain't going to be out there, you don't got to worry about anybody catching any hogs.
Yeah.
If she was coming, I'm just gonna go find her.
Yeah, I thought about
Jean,
that
help.
on the way down. Like should have hit her up and gone and fished with her, you know, one
It's
of
like,
the days.
what's it like to catch a 25, 26-inch bass?
So funny story. The spot I lost my phone in that KBF FLW tournament on Nickajack, I drove past it coming down here because there's a bridge right over by there. And I was coming up to it and I knew where I was. And I'm like, no freaking way. And sure enough, dude, I pass over it and I could see the spot. And I'm like, F you, fish. F you. And just laughed. It was like, what, probably 2 a.m, something like that. And I was just
right
like, oh my
before
God.
he started seeing stuff.
Yeah.
That was a lot before I started, you know, seeing things.
I messed up, man. It was only about 10 and a half to 11 and a half hour drive, depending on traffic for me. I left out at like 11:30 Tuesday, and I could have been here by like midnight. And I had 2 hours left. Wasn't tired. stopped at a truck stop to like grab a drink and use the restroom. And when I sat back down in the truck, I was like, nope. And I was like, I'll just sleep for an hour and get back up. Woke up 5 hours later, like laid over in the front seat of my truck.
Yeah, I woke up. Well, I left Chicago at 4:30 in the afternoon Tuesday, and I pulled over like right before you get into Florida in Georgia. I pulled into a rest stop, and I'm like, man, I gotta go because I had been pounding coffee.
He was like, man, this Love's coffee. This is great. It's got something in it.
Dude, yeah, I don't know what it is about that Love's coffee, but it was like crack.
It's
and
love.
I pull over and I like take a leak and I get back in the truck and I'm like, I should just sit here for a minute. Next thing I know, like I wake up an hour later and Jimmy's texting me, where are you at? And I'm like, almost to Florida. I'm just leaving the rest area. I took an hour nap, but which was probably
what was
good.
It you said before that? You said that you thought you saw an alligator on the side of the road or something.
Oh
like that.
yeah, dude. There was something on the side of the road by this bridge. And it kind of looked like an alligator, but it was way too big to be an alligator. And I'm like, man, I need to pull over. I need to pull over. Like the white dotted lines, like look like a solid line. I was like, this is bad. This is just bad. Almost died outside of Nashville at like midnight.
Oh yeah.
Some car comes like ripping past me doing like 100 miles an hour, almost sideswipes me. And I'm like, that guy's going to crash. And not even a minute later, dude, I just see sparks. And the guy like rolled his car in the center of the highway. I think what he did is he hit the back end. There was a guy pull over to the side of the road that was towing like 3 cars on a trailer. And I think he rammed into the back of that trailer. But the dude was like swerving all over the place, rolled his car. 5 people stopped, and I was like, I ain't got time for this. So I kept rolling. So nothing I can do to help. There's 5 other people there, and I had to get to Florida. So
lots of great drivers out there these days.
Dude, they were horrible. Horrible.
I didn't have any issues the whole way down. Like traffic was fine. I rerouted and didn't go through Atlanta, thank God, because Google really wanted me to go through Atlanta.
Mm.
But
Indiana drivers were bad.
Dude.
They'd hang in the left lane doing like 60, 70.
65.
Yeah.
Ugh.
I was like, what the hell are you doing?
Yeah.
Let's go.
I dread that all the way to Indy from here. It sucks so much.
Yeah.
That's such a great spot. Like every time I'm on there, like somebody jacks up their car. There's an accident. Something stupid's going on.
Yeah. Yeah, I saw a couple accidents on the way down, but that dude, I don't know what he was doing, man. Dome light was on and was swerving all over the place. So I just told myself, I'm like, this guy's going to crash. And sure enough, like 30 seconds later, just smashes his car. So I don't know. Hopefully that person's all right. They looked all right when I drove by. So
at 85.
Yeah, 85. Yeah.
I slowed down to 55.
Yeah, I'm sure you did.
I didn't want to run over any debris.
He's like, Brian's like, I'm not trying to get a flat tire. I hope the guy's okay though.
But yeah, so
other than that, it's been a fun trip. I mean, it's still a check mark on lakes I wanted to hit.
Yeah.
I mean, the little bar next door was very rugged, pretty cool, my kind of bar. Everybody we've talked to has been real cool. And, I mean, all the boaters, everybody's courteous about the kayak guys.
Yeah, that is one thing I noticed. Like, you didn't have boat guys well, I had that one guy last night who crept up on where I was fishing, and I was just like, screw you, man. Like,
I remember that.
Yeah, Billy Badass. Billy Bass Ass is what I call them. But yeah, just came in and kept trying to get in front of me, and then finally I was like, just go.
We had one watch us today. They came idled in. He had his wrap boat, because they're cool. And
Oh, that's right.
They
Yeah.
got down and idle, and sure enough, I caught a fish right in front of him, which I hate doing. But
And didn't he say something to his buddy like I
Something
was going to
about-
go in there or something?
yeah, something like that.
And they took off, man. They left us to the spot, which
Yeah,
was
of course he did. He saw what he
was
needed
nice.
to see.
Yeah.
Yeah, he put a waypoint. He's like, boop. Okay, we can go.
It's like I looked back and was like, they're checking us out. Cool.
Well, at
Boom,
first I thought he was
sucked it.
just scanning that deeper water out there,
Yeah.
but
No.
yeah, it makes
He's
sense.
stealing information. Asshole.
You'll be fishing with him
Hey.
this weekend.
Oh, dude. If we get out there and he's there, I'm gonna be. I don't do well with that. Like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna go right in front of him. I'm gonna have a Russ Snyder, Jacob Wheeler moment.
Well, there you go. Just act oblivious. Put on some headphones.
Yeah.
You're like jamming out. And you're like, "What's up, bro?" Just start screaming, "Hey!"
No, most folks have been super nice. Like, especially the locals, man. Like when we went back in that one spot with all the docks, the one lady was fishing from her pier, and she's like, "Good luck this weekend. Hope you guys do good." And
Yeah, they knew that.
she was chit chatting with us, and then obviously you got, the folks that haven't really seen like the decked out kayaks before, asking questions and stuff like that, which is always cool. It's a, conversation thing, and, like the boater guys that are staying next door, they were asking us all kinds of questions about the kayaks.
I think that one guy was considering it because he was like, "So it only costs about like $5,000 to go like full out."
Yeah.
I was like, "Yeah, you're about ready to get rid of that $80,000 rocket, aren't you?"
Yeah.
Yeah. He's got like a 19-foot skeeter, I think.
Yeah.
19 or
It's
20.
nice.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of folks rolling around here with brand new Rangers.
Yeah, a lot of
Brand new
Rangers. Saw a few Phoenixes. What was that the other one?
Falcons.
Falcons. Yeah, we've been seeing a lot of Falcons around here too. So it's kind of cool, man. But there is going to be a lot of boat competition. I guess guy next door said the tournament that's going out of Toho Saturday, there's supposed to be like 180 boats. There's a tournament launching out of where we're at, but that's got to be like 20 boats, man.
I mean, you can park 30 trucks here
Maybe
if you're lucky.
So, yeah.
But that ramp's also that's probably the skinniest channel. No. That was the wide channel.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. So yeah. It'd be a decent little launch.
Right.
But from where we're at, you can access Hatch or Kissimmee from that launch if you run down the channel.
Yeah.
So they should spread out pretty good. I think the only lake that you can't access on the Kissimmee chain via boat and channels is Lake Jackson. Because that's what the guy was telling me is Lake Jackson's a catch and release only lake, and it actually is dammed off to the rest of the chain.
There is a dam going between Lake Kissimmee and Jackson. Yeah. Clay Ragsdale in the house. What's up, brother? Hope you're well, man. Veterans Kayak Fishing. If you guys never heard that podcast, go back into the archives. Last year, Jay and I did a show with Clay talking about his Veterans Kayak Fishing organization out of Georgia. They do some great stuff for veterans.
That was actually, I think, a year ago, like next weekend, because I was there when y'all did that.
What?
Oh, that's when I came to Illinois.
Oh, that's right.
I was sitting in the studio and y'all recorded that one.
That's right. So yeah, it was pretty much almost a year ago.
Yeah,
no, because you were up for my birthday, so that's in a couple weeks. So yeah, would have been last February. Go check that out. Clay and his organization does some really good things for veterans in the Georgia area, man. But shout out to all the vets out there.
What are we doing for your birthday this year? Same thing?
Yeah, we're ice fishing. JL's coming up. JL Folks.
Yep.
Jay Randall's going to come out.
Oh, me and Jay are going to go set some tip-ups for
some pike.
Because I want to try that.
Bring your hot dogs.
Yeah. Just get the crappiest kind.
Yeah. That's one thing Jay has figured out. It's got to be the greasy, nasty.
Oh, you've actually tried it. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, I tried using Vienna beef, like high-end hot dogs.
We got a
They don't want nothing to do with it.
the YouTube video we did of pike fishing with hot dogs.
Yep.
That's when we tested it out. Jay like bought the most expensive hot dogs he could find, and then the cheapest ones, and the cheap ones are what caught the fish.
Money.
Part of me thinks it's the sodium in those hot dogs.
Do you really think a freaking pike knows the sodium content of what it's about to eat?
Well, I mean, isn't there salt and lures? You know what I mean, in plastics and stuff. So.
I think it's the nasty grease that's oozing out of the hot dog as it's dangling in the water that's bringing them in.
Yeah, I'm just not. We're not going to put them 100 yards away this time, though. God, like I couldn't get to that
150.
One. Yeah, I mean, like you want to see me sprint.
I just want to see you slip and fall on the ice.
Well, remember last time there was 6 or 8 inches of slosh on top of the ice.
Oh yeah.
So,
it was kind of slushy.
That was interesting in itself as well.
Yeah.
Why did you set them so far away?
Well, you're setting them off at certain points,
because
different depths and stuff.
Pike will hang in shallow on like those weed lines and the drop offs, and then the gills are kind of out a little deeper. So
see, I agree with Scott. He said kielbasa. I was thinking kielbasa, bratwursts. I mean, even Vienna sausages.
I think that's too good.
I think
it's too good for a pike. I mean, I don't know. I mean, you throw like 2 treble hooks on it, on these little rigs, and I mean, I'm telling you, it works, man. I stopped using like live bait and stuff because hot dogs work.
What was it? The Great Outdoors with John Candy and Dan Aykroyd, and he was like, "Hey, Chet, you know what those things are made out of, right?
Yeah.
Lips and assholes."
Yeah.
Greatest movie ever.
You saying treble hooks on a hot dog? All I can think of is like a makeshift jerk bait for some reason.
Right?
Basically, yeah. Well, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say that's what it looks like when it's dangling there, the way he's got it set up.
Yeah, because pike will hit dead bait, and you don't have to have live bait. So I mean, the hot dogs kind of mimic. I'm sure the profile looks like a fish, just chilling.
He says use chili mac.
Chili mac. We could try some cheese dogs too.
Try some of my venison snack sticks.
I'm gonna make the most dank hot dog relish, like a Chicago dog or something, or a Polish, and just fucking stick a hook through it and chuck that bitch out there and see what happens.
I've even tried putting I've got some of the what's it called, like the alewife shad baits, or the
that comes in a bag or whatever,
the injector, but with the injector and just squeeze it into the hot dog and everything.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
But they still hit that. I think it's just
my boy Jay has gotten scientific with this, man.
Oh yeah, dude. He gets all over it. If it's got to do with a pike, he's in the Flint.
I'm gonna miss pike. I'm gonna have to switch to muskies.
Yeah, jeez.
Which is fine.
There's nothing wrong with that. That's the real
the biggest thing is pike are stupid, muskies are smart.
True. I'll tell you this: they say muskie fishing in the Northwest and everything, is the fish of 10,000 casts. That is not the freaking case in the South. My buddies that muskie fish, one of them in particular, I mean, he can probably get one or at least one a trip, much easier.
You get to
get in that skinny water stuff to get into that.
You get the reef robber on YouTube watching. He says, "Hey, what's up, reef robber?" But Jay gets a little too into it, but he's gonna make many trips back home to come pike fishing.
Am I?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just like I'm gonna make many trips to Tennessee.
I'm leaving my bucket at your house.
That's fine. That's fine.
I mean, I can't use it where I'm going.
I mean, I don't know. They just got blasted with snow. There's probably ice now.
I doubt it.
I'll tell you, it was cold enough in Alabama last week that for 2 days I saw froze over farm ponds, and that shit's not normal.
In Alabama?
I swear to God. We were driving by, and me and my work partner were both like, "Oh, wow."
You know where it was in Alabama?
Oh,
it was in Greenbow, Alabama.
I thought about that today. For anybody that's ever been to Southern Florida, they got the crazy trees with the moss.
Yeah.
Well, that last place we were at when I was looking up there, it looked like the driveway to Forrest Gump's house. I just busted out laughing. I didn't say anything, but I just started laughing.
I know what you're talking about because there was that big tree.
Yeah.
And it had all that grass hanging off of it. I don't even know what that stuff's called, but yeah. No, it's different, man. Like, that's one thing too. Like, when I drove in yesterday and I got into Florida and I'm just like kind of taking the sights in as I'm coming down, I'm like, man, it's like a whole different world down here compared to up north, you know? And it makes you realize, like, you know, like when I go out to Colorado, that's a whole different, you know, ball game. Same thing with Tennessee. And, you know, it's I started thinking about like the different parts of the country I've been to and how they're have their own unique habitat and things like that, man. But a lot of sand, a lot of those I don't know if they're willows. Are they weeping willows? What are those trees?
They may be a willow, but they're not those, because we have those in Alabama, and they've got like they're long, thin vines with green leaves on them.
Yeah.
But no, it's definitely different down here.
Yeah.
The sandy bottom is the thing I think that's throwing me off, because the same thing happened in La Crosse when I went. Is, you know, never fished sandy bottoms before, and a lot of how I fish in tough conditions is based off bottom contact and really being able to feel everything, and you just can't down here.
Clay says they're mossy willows.
Mossy willows, okay.
Yeah, they're cool, man.
Oh,
they're really cool trees.
I've got a picture I'll show you I took when we got out the last time.
Okay.
And I wished it was a little darker, but you could just imagine just a little bit of fog and how freaky as shit it would have looked like waiting for fucking dead bodies to come walking around.
Jesus. Oh, man.
What is this, Joliet? You guys are.
He said it's actually algae grow.
Oh,
that's weird. That's unique.
Freaking cool.
Yeah, it looks so cool, man. Like you said, I've seen a couple of those big ones where like it looks like the tree in Forrest Gump's front yard.
I'm not gonna lie, the kid in me comes out like they're very climbable trees.
Oh yeah,
and
for
I'm
sure.
Like really wanting to go run up one before we go. Just to
oh my god, I would love to see you do that.
Climb a tree.
Yeah.
I love climbing.
Scott said, or
he's like, I love climbing.
Scott says, or banjos playing.
Yeah. No.
Travis at Rocktown's got a sticker on the back of his truck. It says, if you hear banjos playing, paddle faster. Oh, it's great. But
where I grew up, there are some places like that. For
yeah.
Like probably the scariest thing that happened when I was still in high school and we were fishing. We went way back on the Black Warrior River, and we came up to a bank, and we were just like crappie fishing. And I happened to look up, and there was a kid in the woods, like maybe like 10 or 11 years old, no shoes on, no shirt, wearing blue jean overalls, dirty as crap. Was not verbal at all, would not respond, and then it was just throwing rocks and pine cones at us, and then just disappeared. Like, and we were just like, deliverance.
That's time to go.
Like, his paws coming, like we got to go.
Yeah.
Oh boy. Oh man. Well, we're at about an hour, man. Final thoughts, Jimmy. Go ahead.
Glad to be down here hanging out with you. It's definitely nice to be able to bounce ideas off somebody.
Yeah, for sure, man. It's always nice being on the road with other folks, you know.
Yeah, it's gonna be a grind, but we'll figure something out, or we won't. You know, whatever. Won't make me mad either way.
It's been a nice change of pace. You've been a decent replacement for Jay. Decent, I said. Jay.
Well, I'm not gonna do some of the things Jay does for you. So,
I mean, you did take a photo today. Usually Jay's my personal photographer, but
that's true.
I didn't see the quality of this photo yet, so I don't know.
It's probably not all that good.
Shit.
It's probably not.
I can show you a thing or two, Jeff.
It's probably not Jay Randall quality, but
sorry.
I brought my drone with me, but I thought about when Jay sent his drone out on the creek.
Just stay away from trees, man.
Well, you hit one twig and it went down.
Yeah,
dude, that thing, just flipped over. Yeah, I remember.
Clay says, see you soon, guys, on the water in Georgia. Good luck, fellas, and have fun. Smack them or smack someone.
That's the plan.
I love it. I love it. Beltran in the house. What's up, brother? He says, are we coming down? I mean, we thought about it because of the weather conditions. I said that more than twice. We should just go to Miami and fish peacocks with Beltran.
There you go.
Dude, I'm telling you, I'm still not committed to signing up for Sunday. I may fish Saturday and
drive straight to Miami.
I thought about going all the way to like Key West, man. It's like 6 hours.
It's further than that.
No, I mapped it out when you were asleep because I was seriously thinking about it. It was 5 hours and 46 minutes from where we're sitting right now.
That's when he was tired of watching you sleep, so he started.
How cold is it going to be down there this weekend?
Oh, dude, that's the freaking like
down,
almost. This should be warm.
Down in the Keys?
Yeah. Type in Key Largo.
How far is Key Largo from here?
It's like an hour and a half less, I think.
Oh, it's even better.
It's not going to be that much better.
Might have to go knock on Chad's door and ask.
Saturday, it's going to be 59 and 20-mile-an-hour winds.
Where at?
In Key Largo.
Oh, we might as well stay here.
Yeah, 40-mile-an-hour gusts. You ain't going to be able to get away from it.
Yeah, but there's really good bars down there, though. I mean, we can check on priorities.
I can tell you, too, I don't know, Nick might say something different, but the time that I went down to fish in Miami for the peacocks, it was still kind of cool, and it was hard to fish for them because they're like he said before you could even say that, he said no matter what, these peas, referring to the peacocks, are always on no matter the temp. Maybe it's just the guy I was with.
Clay says bamboo charters in the Keys.
Did you just want to bail in this tournament and go to the Keys?
We'll talk about that after the show.
I'd break it up and just go tomorrow because it's going to be cold anyway. So whatever you do tomorrow, I mean, you're just going to get more of an education on the lake, but not really on the fish.
That's true. That's
true.
What
I mean? Just go peacock fishing.
All
right. I will say this. If anybody's got me on their fantasy team, if I decide to bail on the tournament, I will post on Facebook. So check before tomorrow night at 10 o'clock. But
and then stay tuned for much better content.
Randall, final thoughts.
I'm just gonna try to stay warm, I guess, up here in the tundra.
For real, man.
It's about it.
Do that. I'm glad to see you're all right. I know you just got over the Rona, so that was part of the reason why we didn't have a show last week. Jay was sick. I was trying to get prepared to come down here, so awesome.
Not too much longer before you relocate, right?
No, mid-April.
Sweet.
Yep, we're out of here the 15th.
I'm gonna come up there, and me and you are gonna figure out muskie together. Just that's a big bucket list one for me.
Yeah, I got a few friends out in the areas too. Like, so I know the Collins River. Like, there's a lot of muskies in there.
They usually hold some big muskie tournaments out on the Collins. I know that much.
Yeah. I mean, that can be a sketchy river, though. So, so good luck. Some of those launches are pretty something.
The one part of the Collins I've been on, though, is like if you think of like kayak creek fishing, that's what it looked like, dude. Pretty moving water, moss covered rocks, hydrilla standing up. I paddled upstream. I was testing a boat before I bought it. I paddled upstream like 20 yards and I turned around. Wolf pack of smallmouth went by. I was like, oh my God, I got to move here. Like,
nice. All right, boys and girls, thank you as always for tuning in. If you guys jumped in late, you could always go back, rewatch on the old YouTube, Facebook. You can check it out on the podcast platform right after the show ends. I upload it to all the major podcast platforms. Make sure you get signed up for the fantasy. We dropped the link in the chat earlier. You can go to paddleandfin.com/fantasy. Get signed up for the Dale Hollow event. That's on the Facebook page, and we also dropped that in the chat as well. If you sign up early, you got an opportunity to win some free lodging through Eastport Marina. Huge shout out to them. And we'll figure out what we're doing for the weekend.
Change your plans, honey. I'm not coming back next week.
Yes.
Until next time, boys and girls, tight lines, smooth paddling.